reminder, if you need any additional information from this webinar or missed it, we will be posting it to our YouTube channel. Easy access to our YouTube channel can be found at suntechus.com. Scroll to the bottom of the screen with all of our social links to be able to click on YouTube. Without further ado, I'd like to turn over the webinar to kick it off to Rob Martin, our President and CEO. Rob Martin.
Hey, welcome everybody. We're really glad you're able to join today. Talk about something you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. First off, a new ST Sunlab logo. This year, the end of last year, our company, Suntech International, parent company in Korea, merged with another Korean company called Wizard Lab to create a new ST Sunlab company, bringing some extra capabilities to our group, which we'll be able to talk about today while we go through the products, which is very exciting. You can see that under the news section on our website that you've probably been aware of. We're going to go through different product portfolios and new opportunities with Tim Newberg, who is our new Chief Commercial Officer. He brings a lot of depth of experience within telematics space, at the chip level and communication level, and we're excited to have him on board leading all of our commercial activities.
Yeah, thanks, Rob, and look forward to being able to walk through our product portfolio and some of those new opportunities that we want to be able to build a business with you, our partners, our customers. So let me turn it to the next slide.
Yes, absolutely. You can see here, folks, that with Wizard Lab, some of you probably aren't familiar with them, but they are have a lot of experience in kind of the OE level projects, chip-based software programming, vehicle control units, different tools that are connecting for cars, which is they've done projects, with LG and with Hyundai and other groups. A lot of experience with security and also video telematics, which we'll be excited to talk about and introduce to our product lines. Suntech really is a global company. The expertise of the manufacturing and engineering is all done in South Korea, but we have offices throughout the world. You'll see in South Central America, US now, as well as within Korea. A lot of devices have been shipped. The Suntech has in the aftermarket space. So, over 8 million now. Anything ranging from your typical wired trackers into OBD devices, and also now introducing, battery operated different types of IoT sensors and devices. So this combination of Suntech International with Wizard Lab to create the new entity as our parent company, ST Sunlab, is really going to help us grow even more and continue past that 1 million new devices added per year. So to kind of talk about what these devices are and what the future holds, I want to turn it over to Mr. Tim Newberg.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. And I would just like to add to what Rob said about this merger between Suntech and Wizard Lab and the ability to add additional experienced engineering across these, even complementary or new segments. So especially in this automotive, non-aftermarket segment, and we'll tout some of the new products that are coming, including this video telematics space. So we're here to help grow your business. How are we going to do that together? Well, we start with this broad product portfolio. As Rob hinted, we have products that are serving vehicle, asset, OBD, and soon video, and serving lots of different use cases, right? Across trailer, tractor, fleet management, automotive, construction, you name it, we can support it. And we'll talk through some of those use cases. So we have this broad portfolio of products. And then you may have seen the tagline in the past, customize telematics for your business. Well, that customized piece, what does that mean? Well, custom solutions. So we're tailoring solutions per your application, per your use case. That includes tailoring the firmware, the features that you need to pull through the device into your endpoint, into your platform, into your service. That includes device management, device configuration, being able to tune those parameters that are ideal and optimized, again, for your use case. And then the derivatives piece, so doing derivative hardware. The fact that we've now added people from Wizard Lab into now this merger of ST Sun Lab, we have additional resources to be able to take some of our existing product and tweak it, do a slight derivative for strategic customers to then go drive scale in more volume. So we're really excited to hear about those ideas to drive that. And how do we support it? Well, we support it, and I put white glove. We're doing this not just through a website, not just through a link. We have a customer support dashboard, knowledge base, but more importantly, we have local technical support, local FAEs, people, and they're on this call here for this region to help answer your questions, help guide you through this journey of integrating our hardware with your platform, with your service, being able to bring it into the market. And the other support piece is the distribution, right? The distribution warehouse. We have that here in California. And so we're able to easily support devices right out of our warehouse and get them to you in a very timely manner. So really excited about this overall sort of the three pillars of some of our business. So now I'll step into the product portfolio. So we've traditionally called the product portfolio IoT series, or these battery operated trackers. You can see from this picture, we have a number of different devices that are serving this segment, that are all battery operated trackers. And we'll talk about a couple of them. I've highlighted the 4955, which is our third generation solar tracker. And then I've also highlighted this 4915, which is a long battery life. So we'll go into a little bit deeper touch on those devices, and then also talk about how they've been successful in deployment and use cases. So I'll start with the ST4955. Again, this is our third generation solar tracker. This is Cat-M based with 2G fallback. It is a Bluetooth gateway. So we're able to leverage this device to be able to easily integrate with other third-party Bluetooth sensors, whether that's door, tracking, TPMS, and again, we'll talk through some of those things. But being able to use this device as a bridge to, or as the cornerstone to then be able to offer additional value for you, right, for your customers. Low power, with the solar panel, we're able to support over 5 years of battery life just with the battery. That's if there's no solar, this device will be able to live over 5 years. With the solar panel in full sun, if you have 1 hour of full sun, you're able to get 6 to 9 pings based on that hour of sun. So Keith will talk about some of the use cases of how people are using this device out in the field. And the other nice thing about this device, so here's the device, very small, very compact. It also has the ability to support external power, right? And with external power, then you can increase the frequency of tracking and be able to almost put it into a near real-time ability to track. And we have a number of accessories that are available for mounting options to make it easy to apply it to different type of devices, equipment. And let me turn it over to Heath, and Heath can talk about some of the success that we've had with this 4955 device.
Thanks, Tim. So, one of the things that I really love about what we do, and honestly, what I love about being part of Suntech, as Tim mentioned, is that we really try to let our customers drive our development and our innovation. And the 4955, as I think Tim mentioned, we're actually on the third generation of this. So just to give you a little background, the impetus for this device came from a customer of mine a number of years ago that was using several of the devices in our portfolio. They had a solar tracker from a competitor, and they weren't super happy with it, and they were kind enough to sort of share their wish list with us. So the first generation was actually just taking one of our legacy big brick battery devices, cut a hole in the top with a Dremel, slap a solar panel, and then see where it went from there. So the original device that when we released the 4950, it was just an asset tracker. That's all we anticipated it being at the beginning. But immediately, once we got it out in the wild, customers wanted to be able to do other things with it. And the most common application today is what you see in this use case picture here. So you look at the 4955, if you put that on top of a trailer, right? So logistics companies and shipping companies, they often have these trailers sitting in their yards for weeks, months at a time. And so, as Tim mentioned, utilizing that big battery as well as the solar panel. If you've got something just sitting in a yard and it's getting some sunlight for a few hours a day, it could theoretically run in perpetuity as just sort of a heartbeat once or twice a day tracking device. But thanks to that external 12-volt power harness, so now when it gets hooked up to the trailer, or it gets hooked up to the tractor and it's going down the road, it transitions to being a real-time or near real-time vehicle or asset tracker. So it's really been a clever innovation for us. But then we added to that. We had a customer come and said, hey, this is really great, but we're really growing in the arena of cold chain, and we'd like to be able to just do some temperature monitoring on this. So the latest version, the 4955 LCBW, I hope we don't add anything else because it'll be more letters. But the LCBW has the ability to add a one-wire temperature probe. So now I've got a drop-in cold chain monitoring solution. But then on top of that, another customer of ours is very big in the tire pressure monitoring space and wanted us to include BLE as an option. So we added that as well on this latest generation. And as mentioned, it will do the TPMS, but also you've got an entire constellation of other types of devices. So you can do that same cold chain monitoring without having to pull any wire, door sensors, light sensors. So it just adds a whole myriad of options, even in this over-the-road trucking space. But then when you also add things like HVAC vehicles or construction vehicles, things like that, that have other assets besides boxes, where we could now track tools and things like that with BLE. And then as an added benefit or an added option, if you want to track the boxes themselves, because the shipping company may not be the people who actually own the boxes, right? So the 4290 and 4290L become perfect little ad hoc drop and go package trackers or asset trackers that can be either dropped in a box or stuck on with magnets or bolted down to a surface.
Yeah, thanks, Heath.
You bet.
And so the 4290, as Heath was just talking about, this is our standard battery operated tracker, CAD-M, GPS, IP67. We have two variants, over 4 years, over 7 years, very compact design with, different mounting options. So again, something to consider. But if you want something that has a much longer battery life, we've then introduced the ST4915. So this is a device that has, the slide says, up to 7 years. It's actually over 10 years of battery life with this device, CAD-M based, with the same Bluetooth gateway capabilities. So everything that Heath talked about in terms of being able to, pair with third-party Bluetooth tags, again, you can do the same thing with this 4915. We've also added the capability of Wi-Fi for location, for sniffing. So if this happens to go indoors, you also have that ability for indoor, outdoor tracking capabilities. Now I'll transition over to our additional products within our portfolio, primarily our OBD and the vehicle products, or our wired products. So I'll start on the OBD side in terms of multiple generations of OBDs, and then we'll talk about some of the wired. I'm going to focus on the 6560. This is our next generation OBD tracker, and then I'll focus on the 4215. So the 6560 is our next generation OBD tracker, CAD-M based, Bluetooth capable solution. with the additional support for J1939. So again, we're bringing more value, more capabilities as we're enhancing our portfolio, as well as the ability for dead reckoning within this OBD. So everything that you may have enjoyed with our previous 4505 type devices, now you're going to enjoy it even more with the 6560 device. And one of the things to note is it is, much smaller in terms of size. It's about 25-30% smaller with more capabilities. And with those features, we now will be able to offer, real-time odometer, real-time fuel levels, and other PIDs that are available. And then on the wired products, a lot of customers have been interested in our 4315s, which is this device. We have introduced the next generation, the ST4215, similar product, but again, smaller in size, same type of CAD-M capabilities, same type of feature sets in terms of, driver pattern awareness, crash recognition, those type of things, IP67 rating. With the IOs, you're able to then detect, light sensors and open close scenarios. It has a backup battery for those scenarios. And I will now turn it over to Heath, and he'll talk about a couple different, again, success stories, use cases where both the OBD products as well as these wired products have been utilized. Over to you, Heath.
Thanks, Tim. So for our vehicle tracking portfolio, I mean, you've got your standard OBD plugins, the 4505T, which is, again, we're going into multiple generations of these devices, and then transitioning just shortly into the 6560. So these are plug and play OBD devices. They're going to have a whole library of onboard PIDs. And as we mentioned, those are expanding with the new device to be able to add not only standard sort of California smog regulation PIDs, but also those OEM specific PIDs. So whereas historically it's always been very difficult to get things like seat belt or real odometer, some of these other data points, we've added a second database which lives in the cloud, so it'll be constantly updated to make those other PIDs available as well. These are great devices. I mean, it's kind of a workhorse for just your standard fleet tracking for anything that's a light or passenger vehicle with an OBD port. And then we have the Pro devices, which are our wired units, the 4215, 4315, and then later on we'll talk a little bit about the 4345. But the 4215 and 4315, the 4315 has multiple configurations, so it's very versatile. We've got a 5-wire version, a 6-wire version. There's an RS-232, so it allows for a lot of different applications for engine kill, things like that. But for our folks that are specifically in that buy here, pay here market, the one thing we kept hearing is make it smaller, make it cheaper, make it smaller, make it cheaper. Of course, that's what everybody wants. So that was really the impetus for making the 4215U, which is significantly smaller. Price is going to be a good bit lower. It's not going to have as many different configurations because we know what the use case is. But I know we've got some folks on the call today that are in that space. We're really excited about having this low cost, easy to install, versatile, compact, hidden buy here, pay here type device. And then again, with sort of customer innovation driving where we're seeing these devices go, it's really interesting. So as I talked about the 4290 and 4290L previously as sort of an ad hoc asset or package tracker, again, that's what we envisioned it to be. But what we're really finding a lot of traction in is new and used car dealer. So primarily for lot management. So you think now when you've got a bunch of vehicles sitting on a back lot, you send the runner to go pick one up, figuring out where it's at. We're just having folks drop these in like the door panel pocket or under the seat or in the back floorboard so that they can very easily deploy a once a day heartbeat device and know where that vehicle is sitting on a large lot, but also for test drives. So if you've got some folks taking a car unsupervised off the lot, maybe they're taking it for a couple days, maybe for a couple hours, but now instead of having to plug in a device or even more, go under the hood and wire device, you can just drop one of these in and you're good to go. So that segment for us, new and used car dealer and buy here, pay here, has really been explosive over the past year, and we're really excited to grow more in that segment as well. Back to you, buddy.
All right, now we'll talk about some other use cases with these same type of wired devices.
Aha! I knew that slide was coming up someplace. So I, as I spoke about the 4215 and 4315, these are sort of, they've got. Let's see if I can do this without blurring them out. Sort of a lightweight housing. They're put together with tabs. They're inexpensive. They're light. They're easy to deploy. And so we see a lot of these, as I mentioned, in buy here, pay here, but also with yellow iron. They're great. They're great for putting inside the engine housing in yellow iron, in other types of equipment, and then also with power sports. But the other device that we haven't talked about yet is the 4345, which is the same family, has a lot of the same options on it, but whereas the other devices have a lightweight housing that's snapped together, this is put together with screws. It's a hard plastic case. It's durable. Of course, all are IP67, but with that protected gasket, that good IP rating. Where we really see a lot of these is in the power sports market. So jet skis, ATVs, lawnmowers, motorcycles, UTVs, all that stuff I could rattle off for days. But this is, again, a really growing segment for us. We've done very well, not only in the aftermarket, but at the dealer level. So if this is an area you play in either heavy equipment or power sports, dealers and aftermarket, I think these are great fits for you.
Yeah, any construction, yellow iron, any of that.
For sure.
Yep. Okay, awesome. Thank you, sir. So now we'll turn it into a look at what I classified as new / existing products. So I'll start on the video telematics side. So this ST9730. This is something that the Wizard Lab team had been working on. As Rob talked about at the beginning, this team was very heavy into ODM, OEM, vehicle control units, cybersecurity, and then developing this video telematics dash cam kind of all in one. So this is something that we're evolving now as part of ST SunLab. And, again, we welcome your input in terms of how to best drive this product into the market. We're still finalizing some of the I wouldn't say the architecture, but we're putting some of the final touches on this product. We'll be targeting to launch it sometime in the second half of this year. And again, we'd like to have some dialogue with some of our strategic partners around how can this type of video telematics dash cam product round out our portfolio, your portfolio, so we can go bring this into the market together. So that's one piece of it. The other piece, which is an existing product that's already shipping in Latin America and Mexico, that we will then start taking into, in this case, our market here in the US and Canada, is this ST4410. So this, you can see from a marketing perspective, it's been marketed as a carton box tracker, right? So Cat-M based, with a sub 1 gigahertz radio, right? For additional sniffing, being able to kind of find these type devices, but with a rechargeable battery and with GPS. And so the nice thing about this product is it's almost looking at what I would brand as like bring your own box. So we effectively have a PCB board with all those capabilities with a rechargeable battery that can then be used in, think about the countless type of applications. Where can you put this, hide this, track it? So this is something that, again, we'll be bringing into our market and are really excited about the prospects for this. So what other additional value can we bring as a company to you? So I'll start off with on the certification side. So other tracking companies, they may only do certain amount of certifications. They may stop at regulatory. Well, here at Suntech, we've traditionally done regulatory and carrier mobile network operator. So we're doing FCC, IC, CE, PTCRB, and then taking these devices, this portfolio, through all the carriers. Here in the US, it's Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, US Cellular. Down in Brazil, we're taking it through Anatel. In Mexico, we're taking it through these, Telcel and Movistar. So we're making that additional investment to make it easier for you to, whoever you end up picking from a SIM connectivity, that we can just have it connect and it work, right, in your market. So that's one thing that we do. From a manufacturing perspective, one thing to keep in mind, and I believe Rob had mentioned this, all of our products are made in South Korea. So country of origin has increasingly become more important, especially in the last couple of years. And the fact that our devices, our products are made in South Korea, that actually opens up additional segments, additional paths, including, in this case, TAA compliancy, right? Trade Agreement Acts compliancy. So being able to go take these products into public sector, government, federal, right? With our products, with that made in Korea, South Korea, we're checking that box versus, some of the other products that may be made in other countries, other parts of the world that are not doing that. The other piece I had already mentioned about from a support perspective is we're taking our devices and shipping them to you from California, right? From an FOB in California perspective. So we're trying to make it easy for you to say, we want these devices, and you don't have to worry about the transport, over to California or the tariffs. We are shipping it from our local area, whether it's here in California or in Mexico or in Brazil. The other value that we're bringing to the table is what I classify as provisioning. So not only the ability to easily configure your device to tune it to your use case, to your application, and we help you do that, but also the fact that we can provide the installation of the SIM cards, right? We're installing and including the batteries, right? So it's not something that we're putting onto you or our customers to say, hey, you need to go source this, you need to go find this labor to finish off that product. We're doing those things with and for you. We want to just make it easy to take our product and get it into you and your customers' success. A quick little snapshot on, what we have marketed in the past is C4 technology, this customer controlled cloud configuration. So our middleware solutions, our platforms to be able to easily integrate what we call universal command structure or universal protocol, that once you've integrated with one device, you've effectively integrated across all of our devices. And the ease to do firmware over the air, so photos, profile updates, being able to easily configure your profiles, change all of these parameters to, again, make it custom for you. And that's within our Sync Track. And we're continuing to evolve these tools as well. And I'm excited as we continue to enhance that. And the fact that the Wizard Lab team is helping, drive some innovation for us around that. So we're really excited about that progress. So where do we go from here? What are the next steps? So the first thing I would ask you to do is if you can go follow us on LinkedIn. So we will start being more present, providing more news, updates, events, announcements through LinkedIn and, through other means. So please, if you want to stay up to date on what we're doing, what we're introducing, how we're, bringing success, please follow us on LinkedIn. The second step is contact our sales team, right? So you've heard from Heath. I also have John, who's participating in this this call. You can go to our link on our website, but better yet, let's talk to our teams directly, right? So reach out to myself, to Rob, to Heath, to John. We really want to learn more about what you're needing and how we can be successful together. And really, how do we, let's just get started, right? We have this broad portfolio. We want to tailor it to your solution and ultimately grow your business. So, I've talked about the broad portfolio that we have and some of the new things that we're bringing to the market, how we're customizing things and tuning them, tailoring them to your needs, and then providing you with local expert support to get that across the line and scale that business. You can see we are focused on, lots of different segments, lots of different use cases, and we want to continue to evolve and grow your business. So thank you for the time. Really appreciate the participation from your side. As Jim had mentioned, we will send out this webinar, and then we'll also be sending out a survey. So if you wouldn't mind, it's less than a 5-minute survey. I think we're going to do a drawing for a $100 Amazon card. So we'll get that survey out. Definitely would like to get some feedback. And we're really excited about being able to do more of these type of webinars, have more communication with you and drive your business. So I want to thank you from Suntech, from ST Sun Labs,